I'm Jackie.
And I'm Ashley. Welcome back to Dumb Witch Club. We have some things to share today.
We do. We have some announcements. Let's not make it sound scary.
Yeah, it's not scary.
Even though we do have candlelight.
I know. They're like, what are the announcements?
I know.
Looks a little sus.
It's not, I promise.
Not sus.
No, we have some announcements. We are making some Dumb Witch Club changes.
Yes, we are. I thought you were going to say dumb changes at first, and I was like, oh.
Oh, no, I think the changes are not dumb. At least I hope not.
Right? I think the changes are good.
Yeah, no, I think so too. So,
yeah,
I think the first, well, they all kind of relate and trickle down from one another. They're all happening simultaneously. But the first one is, we are going to be changing the frequency of these full episodes.
Yeah, full-length episodes.
Yeah, full-length episodes. So we're going to be going to every other Monday episode schedule.
Yes. Quality over quantity.
Yes, exactly. Along with that, though, you will still be getting Witching Hour episodes.
Yes.
Weekly. Every Friday.
Which we know is like y'all's favorite.
Yeah.
I mean, we know that it is. And so we wouldn't take that away from you. So you still get to see us try wine and talk about it poorly.
Yeah.
Every week.
Often as you can possibly want.
Exactly.
Like, once a week. That's the limit.
Yep.
Along with both of those changes too, we have a little segment in our full-length episodes called Spell of the Week. Mm-hmm. We are actually migrating Spell of the Week exclusively to our TikTok. So if you don't follow our TikTok, you should.
You really should. It's pretty fun over there.
Yeah, and we're going to be switching up some of that TikTok content too, which we're not going to go into detail on that here, but if you subscribe or whatever, follow.
Yes, follow, subscribe, all the things, do all the things.
So anyway, those are our big announcements.
Yeah, I love it. See, it's good. It's not creepy. It's not scary. It's nice.
No, it's nice. It's good. And we're still going to be here for you, so don't worry.
We're still here. We'll still explain as much as we can and give you hope for your futures and all of that good stuff.
So in that spirit, how about a card pull for today?
Good idea. And we have the Passages Oracle deck today. I thought it was fitting.
Yeah, I mean, especially in light of the announcements, like we're sort of traveling through Passage,
Yeah. Let's see what it has to say about that.
Okay.
By the way, your eyeliner looks really cool.
Ooh, thanks. I did a color thing. It's probably hard to see, but
yeah, it's probably hard for them to see.
Yeah.
But it's like an eggplant, like aubergine vibe.
Ooh, bring it. Love the French.
And I'm loving, I'm actually just loving the whole vibe. Like, it's very The Craft today.
Yeah.
It's very Nancy Downs, which, I mean,
hello.
Obviously. So, it's very cool. It's a very cool vibe.
Well, and I know we don't usually talk about what we're wearing, but I also love your top. It's very magical, and I love the bell sleeve. Yeah, it's fantastic.
The statement sleeves are having a moment right now.
Yeah, well, as they should.
As they should.
We're so cute.
We're so cute. All right, let's see what Passages has to say today.
Okay, all right, let's see. Breathe.
Okay. Good. Yeah, probably need to do that.
Yeah, it's always a good idea. Always a good idea. What do you even say? What do you even need to say about this?
You don't need nothing. Just breathe. Take a moment. Everything's gonna be fine. Everything's cool. Even if you don't feel stressed, it's good to just remember to notice your breath.
Yes.
Either way.
It's true. And you don't have to wait until you're in a freak out moment. You can just do it anytime.
Just do it.
It's a good reminder. It's a great reminder. Just be present. Breathe. I also, just to say, I love how the art in this deck is so spare. It's just very minimal.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of it's a mouth. It's lips. Breathe. And a nose kind of formed. Anyway.
It's just very straightforward. I do like that about this deck as well. It's beautiful, obviously, but it's just very simple and nice.
Yes, it's in its own simple way.
Yes. Okay.
Why though?
I know.
Why though?
Why though? Yeah, okay. We're still on the ride.
Yeah, we're still on the Aquarian helter-skelter.
Yeah. Helter-skelter's a good way to put that. Yes, we are. Yeah, and there's some stuff coming up that's still gonna feel that way. And like, you know, we're heading towards Pisces season. Like,
indeed,
we are rapidly getting there. But, you know, as the planets do, they all move at their own sort of rate and speed. Are we good?
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, doesn't the sun go into Pisces on the 20th?
Is it the 20th?
I think so.
Okay, so yeah. So then by the time everyone's viewing this, it will be technically, specifically Pisces.
Correct. That's what I was just checking was what the date is today versus the date of that.
Yes, good call.
So we are still in the midst of a lot of Aquarian energy.
Yes, and will be for a while because as you know, things unfold. But however, yes, the
transitions are coming.
So yeah, so the 19th, which as you're watching this will have just recently passed. But still worth noting, the North Node is conjunct Chiron, and Chiron is in Aries for that.
Yeah, I mean, and these are kind of like points that we don't talk about a lot because they're a little more, I wouldn't say obscure by any means, but they're kind of outside of the main kind of planets and points that we reference. But they're very powerful, very important points.
Very powerful, very important. And when things are going on, it's worth mentioning because it really does play into everything else.
This is a very fated conjunction.
It is. I'm feeling it real hard. And I know I'm going to. And this time of year is especially hard for me. So I know that this is going to be... Yeah, this happens only every 18 years or so. So that's also a thing. And so it's really going to be bringing up like a lot of deep wounds and things that you've been holding on to.
Yes.
And Aries like doesn't like degaff. Like Aries is coming in being like, figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. Get over that.
Like, remember this, and you're gonna be like, ow. Yeah, I do. Can I not? And it's gonna be like, well, no, because you have to work through it. So hopefully it will be cathartic also and not just painful.
Well, and I think that is kind of the purpose of when you are reminded of wounds or losses or painful things is that you don't just sit there and like wallow in the pain, but that you try to activate some part of yourself to heal and get through the emotion that your body's holding.
Yeah, exactly.
And that can look lots of different ways, you know?
Yeah.
And sometimes it feels impossible and it's not a one and done, you know? You have to do that many times over sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's okay. And sometimes you have more energy for that and sometimes you have less, and that's okay too.
Totally. And you don't have to let it all pile up either. You can deal sort of one thing at a time, one step at a time. So anyway, that's happening.
Yes. And then the sun's going into Pisces, followed pretty quickly by Mercury going to Pisces, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Which I don't know how helpful that is.
I know. Because people want to be like, oh, well then it's dreamy and it's Pisces. And it's like, yeah, but Mercury in Pisces is not a great, comfy place. It's in its detriment in Pisces.
Yes. Which just means that Mercury's struggling. Like the communication, the forward motion, the, bing, bang, boom of Mercury. It's not happening.
No.
It's walking through the quicksand and the muddy water of Pisces. And so it's kind of like...
like, what are we saying here? What are we doing here?
Yeah, exactly. And like, are we even really here? Like, okay.
Is this meeting happening?
Yeah.
Or is everyone just like out to lunch, literally and figuratively?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Which Pisces is like, yes.
Yes.
And yes.
We are.
Yeah.
It's a working
Gone
lunch.
fishing. They have that little...
yeah, with the
It's a working lunch. They don't...
It's a working lunch. Yeah, right. It's not. It never is.
No.
But it's okay. Because you know what? Like, maybe you need to... I have a feeling that I'm going to need that vibe where I need to take myself out to lunch to escape everything else going on, because you want to know what? Escaping is fine. Escapism is good. You need it sometimes. And with everything else going on, I'm fine being a little dreamy Mercury and Pisces and taking myself out to lunch. So if I have that away message on my AOL Instant Messenger, don't send me like angsty song lyrics, because I need to be just out to lunch. I might post angsty song lyrics.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's allowed.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And I think taking yourself out to lunch, figuratively or literally.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
It's cute, kind of.
Super cute.
I like it.
Adorable. Order 2 glasses of wine.
Oh, that's adorable.
Make it look like you're waiting for someone. Put it across from you, and then nobody comes.
Right.
And then you just switch the glasses.
Yeah, and people will be like, this person is crazy. Or they'll be like, this person is in a relationship with someone that we can't see, like a spirit.
That's some Piscean shit.
That is. They would, that's very good. I like that.
Get on that bullshit. Okay, what else? What else we got? Oh.
Last thing. We've got a full moon coming up. We love a full moon. Full moon in Virgo.
Of course.
Of course.
Which is a great balance.
Yeah.
For this energy.
Yes.
Which all of the full moons are, and yada yada. I know this. But this one really is in particular
It is.
for me.
It's going to give us some necessary structure.
Exactly.
And I like Virgo structure, because Virgo structure feels nurturing. Virgo structure doesn't feel task mastery to me. Like, it might be a little side-eye, it might be a little judgy sometimes.
Well, it just has really high standards.
But, like, that includes, like, the high standards because they know that you can do better, right? It's not in a snarky way, like, oh, I know you're going to fail. I do not feel that way about Virgo energy in terms of that. It's more like, okay, like, are you going to actually step up and do the thing that you know that you need to do?
Yes, exactly. Like, do your actual best. Yeah. Don't be like selling yourself short.
Phone it in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it's good. I think that's going to be good. Might feel a lot of that push and pull between the energies, as, usually it does, especially because the full moon is opposing Mercury in Pisces. So,
right, there's a lot of pull on that Pisces pole in that polarity.
Yeah. So some of the things being brought up and stuff, like, you might feel fraught about dealing with it or processing it or whatever, but...
Yeah, and Virgo has a hard time with patience sometimes, and so just having to be like, you know what, sweetie, like, you're just not going to be heard all the way, all of your things, and she's kind of like,
like, okay, I guess just do whatever you want.
Yeah, and Pisces is like, okay.
I personally am going to be like, yes, I'm out to lunch.
Yeah, exactly.
What was unclear about this?
Do not email me.
Even all of those days, I'm just going to be out to lunch. Just all of them.
Whatever time it is.
Whatever time.
She's out to lunch.
They're like, it's 8:30 p.m.
Yeah, it's 8:30 a.m. Yeah, out to lunch, whatever.
She's at lunch. Anything else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how that's going to be you answering for you, too.
I know.
You're like, she's not here.
She's not here.
They're like, you're her. You're like, no.
I'm who?
I'm not.
I don't know who you think I am or who you thought I was, but no, that's not accurate.
I'm not here. She's gone.
No, it's not me.
No, exactly.
Mrs. Iglesias.
So there's a lot happenings in why, though, huh?
Yeah, I love all your abbreviations today. You're so cute about it. You're like, gone fishing. There's a lot of happenings.
I don't know who's talking.
You're very like Andy Griffith show today.
Yeah, it's very quaint. I'm at the end of my Mercury and Aquarius. It's just weird.
Yeah, it's wacky.
Just being insane.
Weird, wacky, wild, whatever you were saying.
That's true. Still very true. So, all right, that's why, though, people.
That's why, though.
Next.
There's nothing more to say. All right, so... Well, there's more to say, just not on that.
Big witch energy.
Big witch energy.
So we hear a lot about card reading.
Yeah.
I mean, we get asked a lot about card reading.
So much.
And we hear people talking about it. And there's a lot of, like, myths or, you know what, I'm just going to say flat out, untruths.
Yeah.
That are out there.
So many. We hear them all the time.
Yes.
And most of the time when I'm encountering this information, most of the time, it's usually, well, it's always people that don't know because it's not right. So, of course, they don't know. But usually it's people questioning it. Like,
yes.
hardly ever am I encountering where it's like, well, no, that's this. Like, yeah, that exists, but I don't see that a whole lot. It's most of the time people being like, wait, so like, is this true? Or like, and it's always in hushed tones. Like, it's like something that they're afraid to talk.
Yeah.
Whenever I get questions about it, and I'm sure it's the same for you, there's always this vibe around it. Like, oh my God, like, can I ask? I'm like, yes. Why are you acting like that?
Yes.
It's okay.
Yes. And when people ask about like their sun sign or what is, they're not doing it like that.
No, they're like, I'm a Gemini. And like, right.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
they're like, and my boyfriend's a Pisces. What are we doing? We're going to kill each other. Like, you're like, yeah, okay, honey. Like,
yeah, you probably aren't.
You know, be quiet. No, you're absolutely right. There's kind of this, it's almost like this reverence.
Yes.
But like fear, you know?
Fear,
like,
reverence.
Should we be talking? Am I allowed to ask about it? Yes, you're allowed to ask about it.
Yeah, and
it's
a good thing we're talking about this as kind of like the overall umbrella to this, because I feel like that is why these myths and misconceptions and stuff continue to exist, because people feel like they can't talk about it. It's taboo.
Yeah.
I hear a lot of people, like, it's a very, for some reason, the practice of reading cards, looking at cards, that type of divination is looked at as like scary and like,
yes,
is this like with like
portal into the unknown, or like are you inviting spirits into this type
like
of stuff?
Satan gonna smite me,
right?
And I'm like, probably not, but
doesn't God smite you?
I think because how you can't smite, because if he's right, if Satan's technically down,
right.
Smite upwards?
I don't think so.
You can't?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that's more... Well, maybe they're asking that too. Like, is God going to smite me because
And then put me down to the devil.
Put me down, yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Anyways, no. The answer's no.
No, that's not going to happen. It's not.
Yeah, no, it is not. So we, having encountered all of this kind of lore and mythology, which also probably doesn't exist, we're just making it up ourselves.
Right.
We kind of came up with some myth busting.
Yeah, myth busting. Right? That's cute. We're myth busters today.
Yeah. So, and these are in no particular order or anything like that. But what is one really common one that we hear?
One of the really common ones, and I really hear people like that fully believe this, is that decks need to be gifted to you or given to you by another person in order for them to be yours or to be effective, or like for it to be a thing. It has to be like bestowed on you, like a sword in the stone situation.
Yeah, and I've even heard it to where it's like you can't buy your own deck. If you do, like the cards are like cursed, like they're bad, you'll never get good readings.
Come on now.
Anyway, none of this is true.
No, come on now. And like, okay, if you're new here, which maybe you might be, maybe you are. If you're not, you're like already like on board with this and get probably everything we're going to say because you know us, okay? If you are new here though,
welcome, by the way.
Welcome, yes. And thank you for saying welcome, because that's basically the gist of what I was about to say. We're never going to be on board with anything that is so strict, stringent, exclusionary, anything like that. It's never going to be Dumb Witch Club. It's just not. So obviously this is not something that's true.
Yeah, and like, look, if you have a friend or a friend has you and gives you a gift, or you give them a gift, whatever.
Yes.
Lovely.
Oh my God. And
that's lovely.
Yes. And can that be extra special? Yeah, because it has this energy like tied in with it. Like everything is energy. That's fantastic. We do that with each other, not because we feel like it's a rule, but it's something that we do and we like it and we exchange back and forth sometimes.
Yes, that's what I was just going to say. Not even just gifting like, oh, I bought you this present, it's for you, but we've like traded decks back and forth at times and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, also, can a deck be very personal just for you and you don't share it with other people? Of course, that's true.
Yes, and it's like, you know yourself better than anybody else in the entire universe, so why wouldn't you be the perfect person to pick out the tool that is meant for you? Like, you would know. Yes, the person who's closest to you is also going to know you very well, and maybe in ways that you haven't thought of, and that's super unique and amazing if you have it like that, which I do, so that's amazing. Sorry, not sorry. But also, you don't have to have that, and you really are going to have decks that are so important to you and close to you, and that's amazing. Like, of course you deserve to have that, and of course that's going to be like probably one of the best ones in your arsenal.
Definitely. And I think, like you were saying, other people, even if they know you really well, they're not you. They're never going to be you. No. And so what you are actually drawn to, you can surprise yourself with what you're drawn to and still know that that's what's for you.
Yeah.
Even if other people wouldn't necessarily get that for you, or if it's, exactly what somebody else would get for you, like, it's not the same as what you're drawn to all the time.
Exactly.
So if you haven't gotten yourself any kind of card deck and you want to, and you're not sure how because you thought that you had to wait for someone to give it to you, you do not. Go to a shop, go online, look for what you're drawn to, and buy it.
Yes.
Start playing with it.
You don't have to be like, help me, I'm poor.
No.
You just do it.
Just go do it.
Just go do it. And if you look back at our episodes, you will see us present and talk about many of the decks that we use.
Yes.
Maybe you're inspired by those. It doesn't mean that these are the only ones that are valid and good, or that you're going to align with them, but maybe you will. Maybe you've seen us use a couple of them a couple times and you're like, oh, that I love that imagery, or that really like resonates with me. Love that for you. That's great. Let us know which ones they are, because it's something we love. So
definitely. Okay, so another myth or another kind of common misconception that I hear is that you can't read your own cards.
Yeah.
You shouldn't or can't pull cards for yourself.
Right.
And just do a reading alone.
Right.
So why is this untrue?
I mean, first of all, I would say the majority of people only read for themselves.
Yes.
I mean, that most people are not reading for others constantly.
Right.
Or if at all. I think most people are doing it themselves. Mm-hmm. It's such a highly personal practice. It kind of ties in with the first myth of somebody buying you a deck. It's the same vein. It's like reading cards, using any type of divination tool, especially cards. It's such a personal practice, personal interpretation, your energy, your openness, just everything about you and who you are is going to be what is useful. It's not the cards themselves, it's you.
Yes.
So, I mean, why wouldn't you be the best person to interpret those things for yourself?
Yes, and I think that reading cards, even like for yourself, but with a friend or with someone else, even if they're not reading for you, or if they are reading for you, and you're working together, and you're getting like another perspective, and you're combining energies and interpretations on what the cards are, that is like extremely useful and wonderful.
Absolutely.
If you're just doing your own cards, of course, like you said, most people just do their own cards. Most people aren't going out and reading cards for others or getting their cards read by, professionals even very often. But sometimes within yourself, you can get into like just kind of a cycle within yourself and your own thinking. So I would only just recommend that you write down the cards that you've pulled. You write down, what kind of spread you were doing. Reflect on it at the time. But then return back to it and reflect on it some more at a little bit of a later date and see, what other thoughts come to mind.
Yeah.
Because sort of that is one of the benefits of reading with another person.
That's very true.
You don't have to read with another person at all.
No, you definitely don't have to. But obviously there's the myth, and then there's, the truth of things lies somewhere in the middle most of the time with everything. And these myths are no exception. No, it doesn't have to be hard and fast that way. But however, can there be benefits to having interpretation? Absolutely. And sometimes, like you said, you really do need that other perspective because you are a little bit in a loop, or you're lying to yourself. But see, the thing is that you are. So, you know what I mean? Like that other person saying things, you probably still aren't going to receive it. And you're probably still going to lie. So writing it down, not like I know from experience or anything, but anyways, writing it down, recording it down, taking a picture of it, whatever it is you want to do to, remember that you had what you had. That's a good idea because we're not always ready for everything at the time that we see it. And sometimes the cards are brutal. Like they can be, they really can. And okay, but we say this with stuff with astrology and why though all the time too. Just because that energy's happening or things are being brought up or just whatever's happening doesn't mean that you have to confront and unpack and process through everything right then and there in front of other people or in that moment or that week or whatever. No one is saying that you have to do that. You can always do it at a time that you feel more safe and more comfortable, but you can't run away.
Well, see, and you're kind of in walking up to what another misconception or myth is, that the cards are always right. And that the cards themselves are telling you divine truth or something.
Yeah.
Which is not really the case.
No.
Like you were just saying it, and then you even said a few moments ago, like it's about you connecting with the universe, yourself, with your energy.
Yeah.
The cards are a tool. The cards are not in and of themselves in possession of knowledge or even magic, I would say.
No. And that's a great thing to bring up, because I think that people who are trying to exploit this practice will make it seem to you as if, that is what it is. And the cards are the cards, and they never lie, and it's never wrong. And, you have to just, no, that what's in front of you is in front of you. And like that part is not a lie. Like, I feel like, and this is just a personal opinion, I feel like, there's a reason for everything and there's no coincidences. So I think like there is a reason. But our interpretations or the moments that we're in or what we're feeling, that can be fraught. And so that isn't always accurate, which is, again, why it's good to journal and record or whatever and reevaluate. Because, sometimes you're just not ready for that message. But no, like there's no inherent magic or anything like with it. It's a tool, just like everything else is a tool.
Yes.
I don't know why cards got like so associated. I mean, other witchcraft tools, I feel like people don't have as much of like a weird reverence towards them like that, but cards very much are, maybe just because of the way they've been marketed. I don't know.
Yes, no, but I mean, they are like, they're sort of imbued with all of this power, which I think the power is really what you're bringing to them and to your work with them.
Yes, which is maybe the apprehension that people have too.
That's true.
Of the way that they've been marketed and that messaging, right? And so that's why people are like, oh my God, I can't like mess with that. It's like, you're not messing with anything. It's you. You're putting it in there. So maybe you're just afraid of you. I get that.
Well, and that's, I mean, sort of like, I've been there, but also if that's what it is, that's something different.
It's something different. It's different. But yes, very good point. The cards are not some sort of like deity you can't argue with.
Exactly. No, for sure. What is another myth?
Well, I think that sort of leads into one that you hear pretty often, that you have to be some sort of psychic, medium, gifted in some way to even use them or read them. Which, again, they all kind of like lead into each other. But having those, and we're not arguing with like mediumship or sensitivity, spiritual gifts and stuff like that. We're personally not arguing that that's not a thing. Like, we believe in that. Not everybody has to, but we definitely do. But these are separate things. One does not have to contribute to the other. It can, but it does not have to.
Yes. You do not have to specifically have or be identified by others as having like psychic gifts, for example.
No.
In order to effectively use cards in your own practice or with your close, friends or family either.
Yeah. It's a completely separate thing.
It's different.
Some people with those gifts use divination cards as a tool, and some do not.
Exactly.
Some do not. It's all a personal preference.
Exactly.
But as we said, like, the cards do not hold some type of inherent magic in them or just the prophecy in them. They're a tool that works with your intuition. And everybody has that. I don't care what anyone tells you. And anybody who starts to tell you, I'm an empath and I'm blah, blah, just don't engage with that. Everybody is an empath unless you're a sociopath. You have empathy.
Yes, I think that is such, like, louder for the back, you know? Everyone has intuition. As we've been saying throughout all of these Mythbuster comments.
Yeah.
These cards are about you.
Yes.
They are for you. You have the power. You have the magic. You use the cards if you want to.
Yes.
Nobody gets to gatekeep the cards or the messages that the cards can give you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you're going to run into these things because it is a way that people, you know, exploit this and use it for gain and profit. And so many aspects of witchcraft and astrology are fraught with that, as you all well know. If you're watching this and engaging in this content, you know that. I mean, it's everywhere. This is what we live in. So you're going to see that. But that's one of the most insidious things, is getting you to doubt that you have that inherent intuition in yourself. It's a way to profit off of you and to control you and to harm you, frankly. So just don't listen to those voices. And if they're happening within you, you can do some work too.
If it's self-doubt, you can work on that too,
Totally.
you know? And you probably should if you're experiencing self-doubt, you know? Because that's definitely getting in the way of probably a lot of things in your life, frankly. So, yes. Another one, and we're almost done here, I think. But another one, and this has specifically to do with, like, actual card readings.
Okay.
So, you know, we all know you shuffle the decks and then you pull the cards out, right?
Yeah.
So there are ways to shuffle so that the cards end up facing different directions. And this, if you pull one and you flip it and it's upside down, essentially, it's called a reversal. Sometimes the belief is that reversals are opposites. So whatever the card would normally mean, reversal means the opposite.
Right.
And often that's like bad, right?
Yes.
This was such a like optimistic, hopeful card, but it's reversed, so that means like calamity and bad. And it's like, one, that's oversimplified. And I mean, and this is a personal preference. Frankly, I don't really believe in reversals in card reading.
Right.
We have had a method to shuffle our decks just hand to hand, like cross back and forth, not flipped, you know, like how you would shuffle like playing cards.
Like playing cards.
So that they don't get reversed.
Yep.
And then all the cards you pull are facing the same direction. And you just read them in a pure manner. Again, that's a personal preference. If you like to work with the energy of reversals in a complex way, not just in that simplistic way, I think that is great and that can be really useful. But you also don't have to do that.
You don't have to. And that's the point here, right? Is that none of these are like hard and fast rules. Like Jackie's not telling you like, don't do that ever. Like, no, like we are just busting the myth that it has to be looked at a certain way.
Right.
And I think that that's a really important contribution to this entire conversation too, because the cards, again, they're about you and your interpretation, even more so than if they come with a guidebook. Which sometimes, I love the guidebook, don't get me wrong. They're written beautifully, and I like to see what the person who created it has to say, and often they have like these amazing insights to share. Whatever, some of them are great, but I don't always read that. I don't always read the guidebook. And the point is to get really in touch with what your intuition is telling you about what's being presented to you. And reversals and things of that nature sometimes just get in the way of that, where they block you.
Yeah, because you're so caught up on the reversal aspect of it that you're kind of missing the bigger picture of the message.
You'll know if you're in some type of space and you get a card and that doesn't match your energy. You'll know. You don't need it to be upside down.
Exactly.
You'll know.
So right. You'll be like, this is an outlier. This one's...
Yeah. And what does this mean? And that is where you do the deeper work. That's where you do the inner work, and then you do spell work, or you do whatever it is that helps you access that place. But you look at that and you think about, why is that showing up for me? And do I not have it? And why don't I have it? And how do I get it? Or how do I lessen it? Or whatever. You're going to know.
Yes. And I think this kind of also sort of leads to another myth that I didn't even have written or thought of, but I will say because it came to mind, is the guidebooks or even online resources where you can look up what does the Three of Swords mean in tarot or whatever.
Yeah.
Useful, especially if you're new.
Yeah.
But the goal of cards is for you to use your intuition, like we've said. Typically the artwork on a card, whether it's tarot, traditional or updated artwork, or oracle decks that have their own artwork, the artwork has enough in it for you to use your intuition to decide, like, what is this, what is happening in this picture? Like, what does it feel like, using that. Go to the guidebook, read, learn, educate yourself.
Sure.
But at some point, like, just using how it feels for you is 100% valid.
Absolutely. And maybe just even, like, pause a little longer before you go to reach to the information.
Right.
We all suffer from this. We live in an age of instant gratification and information. So it is going to be natural to us to, like, immediately just want to know, right? But maybe just pause after you're doing it in that moment and think about what's coming to you first before you engage with the other information and evaluate and decide. Just really make it about you. And if you're new to this practice and you're not really sure, one card is so valid.
Yes.
Sit with that one card.
Yes.
For however long you need to. It doesn't have to be a full spread. It doesn't have to be, sometimes they post these, like, obnoxious things, right? That are like these spreads and all these things. You don't need, that's just a lot. Like, sit with what you're feeling, what you're going through. Choose the one card and just kind of process.
Definitely. I think that's super valid. Do you have a last one to mention?
One last one. And this one drives me crazy. It really does, because it kind of relates to everything we were just saying. That you must perform some type of cleansing, that you must wrap the cards in some type of specific cloth that was made out of mermaid hair. I don't know, whatever.
Woven by birds and mice from the sea witch floor. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, and, like, blessed and whatever. I don't, again, this is just to sell you things. I really think that. I don't know. I can't find, typically you're the historian in this relationship, and I rely on you for that. And Jackie will always know. She'll be like, oh, well, it was because of ancient nuns at the thing, and they, whatever, in the cloisters, and they had these cloths. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, it's a thing. Like, you should, like, read about it. And I'm like, okay. We can't find that for any of this. It's not a thing. So when I cannot do that, because even sometimes when I can do that, I reject it anyways.
And you're free to do so.
Sure. Or I evaluate, I think, oh, well, why did they do that? And if it's something that resonates with me, maybe I'll do it. Maybe I like it. Who knows? But I'm not forced to. But the point is, this has any type of, like, origin story that I can figure out. I really think it's just to sell you stuff. What difference does it make? How could that be? Like,
no.
I just don't. Whatever. Like, if you feel like there's a weird energy around you, if you feel some tangible energy there, maybe you used it, you were in a bad place, or you used it with someone new, then go ahead, do whatever you need to do. But, like, every time or storing it. Also, those things will not save you.
No. Oh my gosh, that is such a good point.
Right? Because it's not even just like, do I want to do it or not? Because, sometimes we think about that. Some things we do. But it just occurred to me. Those things will not save you either. Just because you wrap it in this, like, Tibetan cloth or whatever doesn't mean that, like, you don't need to work on whatever garbage is going on.
100%. It doesn't make your reading more accurate. It doesn't make the work that you have to do any easier or clearer sometimes, unfortunately. I think you're absolutely right. And obviously cleansing and cleaning and clearing energy and all of your witchy tools on a regular basis or whenever you want. Do that.
Sure.
But not in this way where it's like has some purpose that seems kind of dubious or kind of,
Yeah.
ineffectual.
Yes, dubious is a good word.
Yes.
It's a really good word. Yes.
It's kind of like sus.
Yes.
Sus.
It does.
In case you didn't know.
But it's better. It's better. It's like vaguely British and judgy. It's like, that sounds dubious.
Yes. It's very judgy.
I love it. And you should be that way because,
you should be discerning.
You should, because most of this stuff, like, you just don't need it. You just don't. You don't need it.
Nope. And for some reason, if you love it, then do it.
Cool. I love that for you. I mean, I get it. Like, we talk about it all the time. We like stuff and like, we like our aesthetics and we like certain things and whatever. That's fine. I'm not telling you what to do or not do. But you don't need to. Is the point.
And as Ashley has already said, like, the entire point of all of this is not to tell you what you need to do. No. It's to let you know that you don't have to do certain things in a certain way, whatever these kind of misconceptions are that are floating around out there. So.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of them. So, you know.
Got you.
We got you. Just refer them to us if they're giving you a hard time about it. We'll set them straight. We've done it before. We'll do it again.
I think we need to wrap up our big witch energy.
I have a lot of it today.
I know. I don't know if we can contain it. But, okay, we're going to move on to the spell of the week.
Yay!
This could not be a more basic spell.
Ooh, I love it.
This is just a house energy clearing and protection spell. So all you need for this is incense or some other bundle that you can light and achieve smoke.
Okay.
This is a smoke cleanse is what we're doing. So what you want to do is you want to open all of the doors and windows in your home, starting front to back and clockwise. Okay. So like your front door would be the 12, and then you would move backwards. So the back door would be 6 o'clock and go around. You know, whatever the configuration of your house is.
Sure.
Once you have everything open, you're going to light your smoke cleanse material, whether it's incense or whatever it is, and you're going to walk, starting at that same front, 12 o'clock point, and you're just going to walk. You can walk silently. You can say any words that you want in your mind or out loud. You're just going to walk, though, gently, slowly. Walk that same kind of circle through your house. And then you're going to end up back at the front. You're going to either extinguish your method or you're going to let it safely burn out. And you're going to wait for that to happen. And if that's what you're doing while you're waiting, you really just want to wait quietly and sort of meditate on, whatever it is that's on your mind at that time. Once it's out, you are going to close all the doors and windows in that same order, and your home is cleansed.
I love that. That's just like a very good,
very, very basic,
standard cleansing spell, but a good reminder to do that.
Yes, and I wouldn't necessarily prescribe like a specific frequency that you have to do this.
Right.
But I would say like once a month, sometimes on the first of the month or the first weekend of the month. Kind of just a good time to have it a regular practice.
Yeah, I love it. And it doesn't have to be just to get rid of like negative things. It's just, to kind of have a fresh start or just like welcome in like a new energy or something.
Exactly. Just kind of, it's like your apple a day,
Cute. Keeps the spookies away.
Exactly.
I love that.
I guess that wraps up this episode of Dumb Witch Club.
It does. Let us know if there's any other myths you want busted. So we're in the mood to do it. So or whatever.
Until next time.
Stay witchy, friends.
And stay dumb.
Dumb Witch Club is written and produced by us, Ashley Sidner.
And Jackie Gerard at the Dumb Witch Clubhouse in Orange County, California.
Produced and edited by Matt Heinemeyer. Creative Director and Culture Consultant Violet Turner.
Original music by Ashley Sidner. And look us up on all your favorite social media platforms, including Patreon.
Until next time, stay witchy, friends.
And stay dumb.